I'm back. And how you all doing? The cleaning folk came, and then I got into other things. But before I leave the Wi-Fi zone, I'm going to continue with my little thing I was talking about. I was getting into story time, and then my good friend called, and he talked about the guy's unit. And but the real deal is you, yourself, and you. Right? You are in control. You're the decider of your life. Don't let other people tell you what to do. And you can do whatever you want. You just have to do your best at doing it, right? And the more you have conscious intent on what you're doing, the better you'll do it. The more you're conscious aware of what you're doing, you'll do a better job. And the more you stick to it. Now, one of my gifts, and I don't want to say challenges, I would say that's a better term, is that my grandma and other great mentors I had, between birth and six, taught me that if you focus on something and you get good at it and you kind of master that skill set, if you can master one skill set, you can have all skill sets pretty much, right? And so I took that on as a mantra, and I got pretty good at that. And the limiting factor of that was whether I was interested in doing it. So I was really good at doing whatever I was doing, but if I didn't want to do it, I didn't do it. So it kind of limited me. And I had a few, instances where I was kind of, especially when I traveled America in the late '60s and early '70s. I needed money. I would get a job. I couldn't do my electric thing or this thing. I was kind of stuck, and that was my period of experiencing getting stuck. And so I had jobs like working in fast food, or really crappy jobs, selling vacuum cleaners, and going door to door with Bibles and all kinds of stuff like that. And you know, then I stumbled into an electric job, and when I worked for Jack in the Box, I got paid 78 cents an hour, and I had to pay for the food. They would give us a workers discount. I went over to the taco guy. The taco guy across the street from where the thing was, and I was hungry, and I only had like $2 in my pocket. I would go over there, and he had a taco, beef or chicken taco, hard or soft, really yummy, for 10 cents a taco. I would go over there, and I'd be dressed as a Jack in the Box clown, and I would walk across the street and eat there in the taco clown uniform, and my boss. I took my one break 20 minutes for lunch, and if I go in here, it'll cost me $1.50. I go there, it costs me 50 cents, and I get tacos in a minute, and he's a nice guy, and you're a jerk, and he had no one else to, be in the taco outfit. I'm not saying the clown outfit, so he kind of had to put up with me a little bit, but not long. I was there all 2 weeks because he fired me, and because I had no clothes, and I walked around all of Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the a Jack in the Box taco. So I'd be at the Tander Trap, uh, you know, wild and crazy music bar in the clown outfit, and so it got back to him that I was in all these places, and sleeping homeless in the in the under a tree at the University of Albuquerque. So anyway, it was, I experienced, those kind of jobs, but I didn't have too many of them. That was really, and then all of a sudden I got, someone said, you got to be doing something better than this. What do you do? And I said, oh, I'm a pretty good electrician. Oh, you do? Go to this place. I did. I got a job in 1972 for 30 bucks an hour. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But this story is yourself, and you are the controller of your life. You're letting everyone else tell you what to do, how to do it. And all these, your job, the pandemic, wars, the inflation. I have very limited resources. So as things went up through the roof, I just, I stopped buying that. I stopped buying that. Stopped eating this. Stopped eating that. And that's good. I lost more weight. I'm now down to, 193. 180 is my perfect high school weight, right? Anywhere, below that, yeah. But right now, 193. So that's all you guys got to do. You just have to step up to being yourself. You are not your body. You are your spirit, right? And you are the controller of your life. It's not somebody else. And the only social media I'm on is YouTube to talk to you guys. That's it. Because people, some people. Yeah, you look at the thing I have to wear to just even see. So it's. But the big splat is here. We're in the slow motion of it. I've been talking about it for the last 2 years, and pretty much everything I've said has come true. The only thing that hasn't quite happened yet is the public appearance of aliens taking over the planet on your television. Like landing on that landing strip they have all prepared for them at the United Nations, walk in, say, okay, we're going to take over, we're going to fix everything. We're going to get rid of all disease. We're going to get rid of war. We're going to get rid of famine. We're going to get rid of need. Everyone will have something they want to do and live in a place they like to live in, and everything will be great. You'll be part of the union, and blah blah blah. And their agenda will only be realized, 50 to 100 years after that day. But in between, it'll be okay. It'll be nicer, kind of, maybe, because they already are in control. The alien agenda has always been here. And that's why the ruling class is the ruling class. They represent the alien agenda. Right? And the unipolar power structure. These are all, they aren't our spirit. Right? And our bodies aren't our spirit either. At best, they are a avatar. At worst, we're their slave puppet. So, anyway, I just wanted to say I'm back, and I'll maybe see you tomorrow. um, and if you guys came and chatted a little bit, we might have a dialogue rather than me giving you a monologue. But I'm doing it because this is the one thing I can do. I keep seeing interesting things appear on the horizon. I go to them, and they are, do I really want to deal with that? Come into my life, and I'm nice to them, and then helpful to them, and then they expect X, Y, and Z, and because I never ask for anything, they don't give me anything, and so, but then I'm not there anymore, and they go, what? Why? Because I control my life, and if my involvement with my three rules, Dr. Do no harm. Do not get involved unless you're going in with a workable exit strategy to get the innocence out of harm's way. And do not get involved unless you're worse. So those three rules don't work. I don't. That's kind of it. What else can I say? That's about it. I just want to do before I'm outside the. Oh, there's somebody. There's fish. Okay. Okay. Sorry. How about now? I'm not sitting at a table, so I'm having to hold my laptop. Good. Okay. So, how's life with you, fish? What's uh, what's your conceptual idea of what's going on for today? Fish, tell me if I'm right or wrong. I remember a few years ago, oil had gone up to like $130 a barrel. Let's see. Well, don't hold it the same. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna put it over here. Okay, how about that? Does that work better? So, Fish, tell me this. A year or two or three ago, um, oil on the wholesale market went to 130 something a barrel, and yet gasoline was, 170 something at the pump. Now it's about 118 a barrel, and it's getting close to $5 a gallon. Right? And America is the largest producer of oil, and we still are. And what is the problem with why do you think gasoline costs so much? What does she say? Where the mic is, so I'll have to be careful. Yeah, they're trying to force us to electric. Yep, exactly. But then, as we do that, because it's already, they're already mass producing the vehicles. Volvo, the biggest. Uh, people don't. People think Peterbilt, Mack, they're the big truck guys. No, Volvo makes the most tractors, for tractor trailers than anybody. And their factory there in Virginia, in whatever it's called, right off of 81, they have been producing electric tractors, for at least the last 3 years. That's it. That's all they do. And they have been redoing 81, where they're putting every time they repave 81, whatever section, they put a matrix into the asphalt that will carry current and data, and will be able to control and power the tractor trailers, right? And they already have the technology here. They don't have to invent them. I mean, in Japan, they have robots, cuter than me. So, I mean, we're heading towards this. This I had a really good friend of mine, a good 10 years ago, when I was just on the edge of dying. I was kind of hanging. I had a house nearby him, and I was kind of hanging with. He was a Rasta boy. He had a Rasta compound. He had Rasta, and he had a Rasta band. And I was their white boy manager, right? And I would go and get gigs, and that people would see me as, and I had my nice looking white person clothes, right? And I went in and would, I played the tape for them. Oh, that sounds great, sure. And then we'd show up, and there'd be all these guys. So I remember one time we played at an American Legion that was really just the front of they were a Ku Klux Klan club, motorcycle, gang. We went in, and it was just like straight out of the Blues Brothers, and we played um, for them. And when they saw us, they were like, wanted to kill us. But once we started playing, they really liked the music. So anyway, he was totally, 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 totally all about transhumanism, and that we were no longer going to be human and we'd be robots and blah blah blah. and that's all he could talk about. And we go around, that's all he talked about. And I knew I knew about it. I knew what it was. You know, was I didn't realize how really deep it was until I was tooling around US One looking for bars for us to play, and I drove by. Um, I could just see the top of this building, and it had these exhaust hoods. And those I used to install them, and those things are for Class 6 biohazard environments, meaning where they will work on something under a hood where all the air is being sucked up into this hood. It goes up and it gets burnt many, many times. And then before it's let out into the environment, it is like totally everything is dead. And so I saw these and I said, whoa, what are those? And so I turned around and went down on US 1A and weaseled myself back to where I thought this place was because all I could see was the tops of these hoods. And no one else knew what those things were, but I could see them. I mean, they were like underneath a hill and trees. And anyway, I drove up there and I drove into this place and all these signs saying, do not go, private property, we will shoot you, we will kill you, don't come here. And I drove in, and all these people surrounded me with machine guns, and it, they were screaming at me, and I said, "I'm just looking for a place to fish. I'm from Tennessee, and my place said Tennessee. And I'm just, and I'm out, I'm out in the country, and I'm just here on vacation for time in Florida. I'm just looking for a place to, you know." And so they kind of looked at me, and the guy had already pulled me up on his little screen, like, yeah, 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 yeah. So it didn't go any further than where I lived, and retired guy. And so, they said, just go down, go out there, go left, go past this place, and then go to the ocean, and you can fish there. Thanks. So I was looking in, and it was this biotech place. And when I went and looked it up, because I gave the info to my roster friend, and he was Mister Internet. He was looking stuff up. When I first met him at the university, he was a computer science. He had a PhD, but he was a Rasta then, and his mom was really, and he was great grandson of Zelda. She was a painter. She was a poet. She was a writer. She was anthropologist. Cornell and Harvard, and she's one of the leading anthropologists. She was like ahead of Margaret Mead, but because she was black, and the things she wrote about, didn't they? She was going to be the good nigger, then she could be at least have some notoriety and affluence, and kind of like James Jim. What was Jim? Poet, playwright, author, lived in Paris. What's his name? And I think one of his books was "I'm Not Your Black Man." He wrote some pretty amazing books. I mean, they liked reading books about that were real about black folk and da, da, da. But anyway, so um, I'm still covering the mic. I wish I had an arrow that said "Mike is here." I guess I'm gonna have to wear my little jewelry mic that I plug into the guy. Let's put on my reading glasses. Where did they go? This thing here. Yep. All queued up. Same. Almost not enough. Turning stations, fingers over the mic. Fingers over the mic. Not now. See, if I knew where the mic was, I could not put my finger there. And like I said, the electric cars will not have to be charged. But having a battery on electric car, the first automobile in the world was an electric car, and it did not have a battery. It was, well, there were two. There was one. First, Tesla did one, and he was using his wireless transmission of current to run the vehicle. And you know, Edison made an electric car with a big DC battery, right? So that's the one that people. But that was the first car. Then a steam car. Then Mr. Rockefeller's gasoline car. But that took some years. So yes. So this the you know and see, the thing is, you're not going to own your car. It's going to be like an Uber. You're going to hit a little um, thing on your smartphone, the little app, and the car will appear in front of you. Right? Boop. It'll be like George Jetson. Boop, 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 boop. Whether you're out in the woods, whether you hit the app, boop, 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 it'll arrive. Unless they don't like you. You hit that app all day long, nothing's going to show up. So, and no one will have a car. There'll be no gas stations, et cetera, et cetera. And this kind of global warming thing and burning oil and carbon footprint. I mean, trees love carbon. They kick out oxygen. You know, the temperature of the Earth has more to do with the sun than it does with us. We are like salt on a potato chip. We are just um, interesting, but we don't really have an effect. And the most effect we have is on ourselves. All the stupid crap we do is killing us more than the world. I mean, the Earth will, an asteroid hit this thing and killed everyone. It only took 60 billion or somewhere years for everything to come back. You go to Detroit, where all the factories were. They're all gone, and they weren't torn down. The trees grew up through them and tore them apart. And the earth, took the iron and the concrete and put it back in the earth, right? And that did that in 40 years, So if we toast ourselves, this earth will come back quite nicely. But if you look at the history of the earth, this earth has been a snowball most of its history. This nice little Goldilocks thing we got going on now has been very short lived, and it's only happened really this time through. It's only really happened for a billion years. So the 60 billion years Earth has been here, it's been nice for 1 billion years, and about 100 million of those years. We were growing back after the asteroid. So it's like your life. You are the decider. Stop just worrying. Are you worrying? Well, why are you worrying? Are you hungry right now? No, no. I'm hungry right now. I haven't really eaten anything all day because I have no real money. But you know, it was raining hard, so I just stayed in bed and just kept going back to sleep. And then I had I have this pot of food that I've been really cooking on and on and on and on and on for the last month. And I just keep throwing things in it. And I kind of, scooped out the last bits, and that was breakfast. Right. And now what am I going to do? I'm going to go, the sun is just perfect. And I'm going to walk over to my driveway front lawn, and there will be, hundreds of dandelions there. And I will pop about 5 to 20 of those little guys, and I will munch them one at a time, and that'll take me an hour, and that'll be my dinner. Try not to worry. I'm a worrier. Worry for everybody. So fish, right? So you hungry right now? No, right? Are you cold right now? No, right? What else would you worry about? You got a roof over your head? Yes. And so you have nothing. You have a pretty good job. Within the construct of slavery, you've got a pretty good job, and so you're doing pretty good. So you got nothing to worry about. You know? Yes, I am lucky, but still what? Ow. Whoops. Anyway, I'm gonna put this thing back over here, pointed at me, and just keep talking. So stop worrying, buddy. You got people that love you. You have a sensei that respects you. You know, come on. You got nothing to worry about. That's your summer project. Stop worrying. Right? Take more vacations. Do more fun stuff. You know, I mean, people come in my life and they expect me to, because I'm helpful and I'm kind and not demanding anything. They want me to take over their life and take care of them. You know, and some people have rolled into my life recently, and one's really really rich and was well-to-do lawyer and da 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 da. The other's like Miss Midas. Every business she starts does really successful. The other is this really amazing person who's like a horse, and she's honest and true and real, and that's what the only thing that she cares about is horses. And, so she's wondering about me, but she doesn't. Every time she leans on a person, they disappoint. And I basically said, I will have your back, but here, at this moment, who knows what the future is going to be? I've been married twice, and I've been in long-term relationships, and you know, I only got married because of circumstances and things, and it was okay. It's no big deal. And one, they wanted to dissolve that, not a problem. It was no big deal, right? Still stayed friends. The other one died, right? And I'm, still, after it took me 30 years to get over the sorrow of it, but I can feel a little verklempt about it. But she's always with me, and we still have our friendship, And so, it's so, I have, you know, $37 in my checking account. The people who were relatively dependable on sending me, $10 to $50 a month. Two of them haven't, you know, done it in a couple of months, and so, and I don't think they're doing too well. That's what I feel, and I keep saying it's okay, it's okay, and so they're not in communication anymore because I think they feel upset with them. But no, I'm not. Because I can live on the limited resource. Be nice. I mean, having that $200 in the bank that I didn't put there every month was nice. It was a nice pillow. So, anybody got some money they want to throw in my PayPal account? It's the dudewake42 at Gmail. But so the gas price is going up to the roof, and I, can't drive anywhere. So my next door neighbor, lets me come up on his deck, and it's about three-quarters of a mile from my front door, which is not a bad walk. Um, you know, and I walk up here every time I'm up here. Sometimes I drive. I'm going someplace else, and but my other neighbor on the other side, he's a lot closer to me, and he has video cameras everywhere in the woods that he has hooked up to his Wi-Fi. So his Wi-Fi is all over the place, and so it kind of comes in to my little neck of the woods, into my little man cave, and you know, and I say, so hey, your Wi-Fi is in my man cave. How about give me I don't know it. I said, well, why don't we go? It's printed right on the back of your little Wi-Fi device, and why don't you just write it down and hand it to me? And so oh no, how come? I don't know, but no. I go, okay. But it's a good thing because by having to come up to this neighbor, I have a good walk at 3 or 4 times a week, and I get to talk to you. It's not a big deal. So it could be, so I have no money. I can't go on the, can't drive 40 miles. It's tomorrow. I'm gonna drive out of here because I got a half tank of gas, and two people want me to fix things for them, and they said, "You're gonna charge?" And I said, "Well, you have businesses, you have money, I have none. If you want to give me a donation, I'd be happy to take it. You're gonna charge me anything?" No, but the gas. Anyway, so we'll see what they do. I'm gonna get fixed because there are these two really, old, ancient, you know, really expensive lamps, and nobody. It's not like wiring a house, so electrician. I don't know, and they're like from the 1910s, and they're really. I mean, if they were to break them, that would be trauma. 'Cause they want me to fix them so they can put them on the internet and sell them for a lot of money. So that's what they do. And they couldn't find anyone to fix them. So can you do it? They showed them to me. I said, sure. Just let me bring my tools. You're going to charge me anything? I said, no. And I gave them that rap. You can donate me. Anyway, so, and other people just put money in my PayPal. I don't ask for it, and they just give it. Other people see me doing what I do on the street, and they come over and just give me money. I don't really ask for it. That's kind of how the world should be. But I keep bringing it up because I just want you guys to remind you, right? All right, night now. So I'm probably ate, I don't know, 150 calories so far today. And I'm going to go and make, I picked some mushrooms out of the forest there too ago, and I cleaned them and I prepared them, and they should be ready to put into something. And I found a little bag of rice, and I picked the mice turds out of them, and that's how I live. But it's like, this is where I live. And I can just walk 3/4 of a mile up the hill and talk to you guys. So let's see. What do you guys saying on the old? Hmm. Sandra, hey Sandra, it's me and Fish, and you. Sandra, I tried to email. Did you get my emails? Again, anybody who wants to read my writings, just email me, the dude awake 42, so I can just send it back to you on that. So anyway, 34 minutes, and I am getting hungrier and hungrier, so I am going to go make some mushroom bark soup. Bark is really great. When you boil it up, it really it's like a corn starch almost. It really makes things thick, and it absorbs the flavor. So these mushrooms are really mushroomy. So it'll be a very thick mushroomy soup. And I have one onion, so I'm going to chop that up. And it's rotting. And rotting onions, you cut all the rot off, and whatever left, you chop it up. It has done a chemical thing where it is so onion. That one rotted onion, and I will probably end up with maybe half of the volume of that onion, and it'll be like the taste of like 10 onions. So, I mean, these are little tricks you have. And so, anyway, so what else can I say? That's about it. And you have a good evening. Let's see, what is the time and how much? I got half a battery left, and it's almost 5 o'clock. So yeah, I'm gonna mosey on. I've been up here for about 2 or 3 hours. Okay. Yesterday, when I was had a pretty long show, maybe 3 hours, and this battery isn't as long as my other battery. This battery is about 5 hour battery because it's a little teeny laptop. I mean, it's really light. It's less than 2 pounds probably. Anyway, love you guys. Remember to tell people, get some people to throw some money in my PayPal, the dudeawake42 at Gmail, dudeawake42 at Gmail. Okie dokie.